Listen to me. In this world, everybody wants a reaction. They feed on your anger, your pain, your weakness. But here's the secret: they can't hurt what doesn't respond. It's time you learn to act like you don't care. Let me tell you something in life. People will test you. They will push you. They will poke at your wounds, throw dirt on your name, and whisper behind your back. And they don't do it because they're strong. No, they do it because they're weak. They do it because they want to see if they can control you. They want to see if you'll crack, if you'll explode, if you'll give them a piece of your mind. But here's the truth: the moment you react, you hand over the power. See, most people live their whole lives like puppets. Someone pulls the string and they dance. Someone says something rude and they snap. Someone spreads a rumor and they break down. But the ones who rise above, the ones who build real strength, they don't let emotions be controlled by outside noise. They know control is power and reaction is weakness. Think about it. When you get angry, when you lose your cool, what happens? You stop thinking clearly. You stop seeing the bigger picture. And the other person, they win. Because now you're not in charge. You're just a prisoner to your emotions. The world teaches you to clap back, to fight fire with fire, to prove your point every time somebody challenges you. But let me tell you, that's not strength. That's a trap. The strongest man in the room is not the one who shouts the loudest. It's the one who sits in silence and smiles because he knows he's untouchable. When you act like you don't care, you're not saying you're cold-hearted. You're saying, I refuse to let you control me. And that's a different level of power. That's the kind of power that makes people uncomfortable because they realize they can't get under your skin. They realize their insults, their games, their noise, it bounces off of you. And that scares them because people thrive on reactions. They need your anger to feel important. They need your pain to feel powerful. But when you don't give it to them, they shrink. Let me break it down. Every time you react in anger, you give someone a piece of your energy. Every time you defend yourself against a lie, you give someone a piece of your peace. Every time you lower yourself to argue with someone beneath you, you give them the satisfaction of knowing they pulled you down. But when you keep your cool, when you hold your ground, when you act like you don't care, you keep every ounce of that energy for yourself. And that energy is what you need to chase your goals, to protect your vision, to stay locked in on your purpose. Life is too short to waste on reactions. You don't have to clap back at every insult. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Your silence, your composure, your control, that's your crown. Because here's the reality: nobody can steal your power unless you hand it to them. And the way most people hand it over is by reacting. Think about a lion. When the hyenas laugh and bark around him, does he react? He keeps walking. He saves his roar for when it matters. That's what control looks like. That's what real power feels like. And that's exactly how you need to I choose myself. I choose my peace. I choose my sanity. Think about it. How many times have you stayed in conversations that only made you feel small? How many times have you let negative voices inside your head until you started believing the lies yourself? How many nights have you lost sleep over people who weren't even thinking about you? That's what attachment does. It ties your happiness to people, places, and things that were never designed to keep you whole. But the moment you detach, the moment you decide that your peace matters more than their opinions, more than their validation, more than their drama, that's the moment you become untouchable. Detachment is not weakness, it's discipline. It takes discipline to walk away from what is familiar, even when it's toxic. It takes discipline to say no when everyone expects you to say yes. It takes discipline to put distance between you and the people who refuse to grow. But that discipline is the very thing that sets you free. And once you taste that freedom, once you feel that peace, you'll never want to go back. Now, don't confuse detachment with isolation. You don't have to cut yourself off from the world. You don't have to build walls so high that nobody can reach you. No. Detachment is about boundaries. It's about knowing where you end and someone else begins. It's about understanding that their chaos is not your responsibility, their opinion is not your reality, and their drama is not your burden to carry. You can love people from a distance. You can care without sacrificing your sanity. You can be kind without being a doormat. That's what detachment teaches you. See, when you detach, something powerful happens. You begin to see clearly. You begin to see who really values you and who only uses you. You begin to see which battles are worth fighting and which ones are nothing but distractions. You begin to see how much energy you wasted on things that never truly mattered. And when that clarity comes, your life changes. Because now you're no longer reacting to the noise. You're moving with purpose. And here's the thing, people won't like it. They'll call you cold. They'll say you've changed. They'll try to guilt you back into old patterns. But don't fall for it. Protecting your peace will always offend the ones who were benefiting from your lack of boundaries. When you stop entertaining nonsense, nonsense gets loud. When you stop feeding into drama, drama gets desperate. But let them talk, let them complain, let them try. Because while they're stuck in the same cycle, you're building a life of peace, focus, and freedom. Detachment is a strength. Detachment is freedom. Detachment is the shield that keeps your heart steady and your mind sharp. And once you master it, you'll realize that peace was never outside of you. It was always within you. You just had to protect it. Let me tell you something, silence is a language, and it speaks louder than anything you could ever say. You see, everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to defend themselves, explain themselves, prove themselves. But the truth is, the more you talk, the more you reveal, the more you give away. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. When someone insults you, they expect you to fire back. When someone lies about you, they expect you to chase after them with the truth. When someone challenges your worth, they expect you to fight for recognition. But when you stand there calm, unbothered, silent, that shakes them to their core. Because silence is not weakness. Silence is control. Silence is mastery. Silence says, I don't need to explain myself to you. I know who I am. Think about the times you wasted your breath trying to convince people who were never going to believe you anyway. Think about the energy you lost arguing with people who were committed to misunderstanding you. Think about how many times you left a conversation drained, frustrated, angry, and yet nothing changed. That's because words can't reach everyone. Some people don't want clarity. They don't want the truth. They don't want peace. They want chaos, and they want you to join them in it. And when you do, you lose. But when you stay silent, when you refuse to engage, when you refuse to lower yourself to their level, you win. Because silence is not surrender. Silence is a strategy. It's knowing that not every battle deserves your sword. It's knowing that your energy is too valuable to waste on people who thrive on conflict. And it's knowing that sometimes the loudest message is the one delivered without a single word. Respect doesn't come from arguing. Respect doesn't come from shouting. Respect doesn't even come from proving people wrong. Respect comes from restraint. It comes from having the strength to walk away when every part of you wants to fight. It comes from holding your peace when others are trying to steal it. It comes from knowing your worth so deeply that you don't feel the need to prove it to anybody else. Let me give you an image. Imagine a king sitting on his throne. People in the crowd scream his name, some in praise, some in insult. Does the king get up and argue with each person? Does he shout back? No. He stays seated because his silence says more than words ever could. His silence says, I am above this. I don't need to prove my crown. You can already see it. That's what silence does for you. It keeps you seated in your power. Now understand, this silence doesn't mean you're blind. Silence doesn't mean you're naughty. Silence doesn't mean you're ignoring reality. No. It means you see clearly, but you choose wisely. It means you could speak, but you decide not to. It means you could fight, but you save your fight for something greater. That's a strength. That's wisdom. That's discipline. And here's the part that most people don't realize: is silence makes noise. When you stop responding, people start wondering. When you stop explaining, people start questioning. When you stop giving attention, people start feeling their own emptiness. Your silence forces them to face themselves. And that's why silence earns respect, because it creates space for truth to echo louder than your words ever could. But make no mistake, staying silent isn't easy. It takes maturity, it takes patience. It takes the kind of confidence that says, I know my value, whether you see it or not. Most people don't have that. They can't sit in silence because they're too desperate to be understood, too hungry for validation, too insecure to walk away. But if you can learn it, if you can master the art of silence, you'll discover a new level of power. Your silence will confuse your enemies. It will protect your energy. It will demand respect without you asking for it. And it will remind you that your voice is too valuable to be wasted on meaningless noise. Because every time you choose silence over reaction, you're saying to the world, I am in control. I am not shaken. I know who I am, and that is how respect is earned. Let me tell you something, life is short, and the biggest mistake you can make is wasting it on things that don't matter. Too many people spend their time chasing approval, fighting battles that don't build them, arguing over things that don't change a single thing in their lives. And then they wonder why they're tired, why they're frustrated, why they feel empty. It's because their focus is scattered, their energy is spread thin, and their heart is invested in things that were never designed to give them purpose. If you want to build power, if you want to rise higher, if you want to walk into the life you're meant to live, you have to learn to focus only on what truly matters. Every day, you wake up with limited energy. Think of it like a bank account. You get a set amount of energy every morning. And what you choose to spend it on will determine the kind of life you build. Some people spend it gossiping, scrolling endlessly, arguing, proving themselves, and chasing distractions. By the end of the day, they're broke, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And then some choose wisely. They invest their energy in their purpose, in their vision, in their growth. By the end of the day, they've built something. They've planted seeds that will bear fruit tomorrow. The difference isn't luck, it isn't talent, it's focus. Focus is a filter. It teaches you to separate what is urgent from what is important. It forces you to ask yourself, does this serve my purpose? Does this bring me closer to my vision? Or is this just noise? And once you train your mind to answer those questions honestly, you begin to cut out everything that's pulling you off course. You stop caring about the opinions that don't build you. You stop entertaining the drama that doesn't feed you. You stop investing in people who only drain you, because you realize your energy is too valuable to waste. But here's the hard truth. Staying focused means you will lose some people, because not everybody is going where you're going. Not everybody will understand your grind, your discipline, your decision to walk away from distractions. Some will call you selfish, some will call you distant. Some will even say you've changed. And you know what? They're right, you have changed. Because you're no longer interested in surviving. You're building. You're no longer chasing attention. You're chasing destiny. And the people who can't see that, they were never meant to walk your path anyway. Focusing on what truly matters also means you have to let go of perfection. Too many people waste their lives waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect approval. But the truth is, there is no perfect time. The time is now. And when you're focused, you don't wait, you don't hesitate, you don't freeze, you move. You take the step, you put in the work, you build brick by brick, even when it's not glamorous, even when nobody is watching. Because you understand that greatness doesn't come from distraction, it comes from devotion. And let me tell you, the world is built to distract you. Every screen, every voice, every temptation, it's all fighting for your attention. And if you're not careful, you'll give your life to things that don't matter. You'll look back and realize you spent years chasing things that that never gave you fulfillment. But when you decide to focus only on what truly matters, you break that cycle. You start living on purpose. You start building with intention. You start walking a path that actually leads somewhere. Focus is power. Because when you direct all of your energy toward one vision, one mission, one purpose, nothing can stop you. Mountains move, doors open, opportunities appear. Not because you got lucky, but because you refuse to let distractions steal your destiny. You chose to care less about the noise and care more about the goal. And that choice makes all the difference. So you have to ask yourself right now, what are you giving your time to? What are you feeding your energy into? What are you chasing that doesn't serve you? Because every minute spent on nonsense is a minute stolen from your future. Every argument, every distraction, every meaningless pursuit, it's robbing you of the life you could be building. But the moment you shift, the moment you lock in, the moment you say, I will only focus on what truly matters, that's the moment everything changes. Because you're no longer chasing everything, you're chasing the right thing. And the right thing will always lead you home. So now you understand control is power, detachment protects your peace, silence earns you respect, and focus builds your future. That's the formula. That's the lesson. Not everyone will get it. Not everyone will like it. But the moment you stop reacting, the moment you guard your peace, the moment you let silence speak for you, and the moment you commit to what truly matters, you become unstoppable. Because you've learned the art of not caring about what doesn't serve you. And when you master that, you don't just survive in this world, you rise above it.